So yeah, we're computing d times k times q squared, and so the first one is 0.18, and then the next two are q0 is 0, so if you square that, those are just going to be 0. That one's simple enough. And then here for the last one, it's going to be a negative, and then if we do that, it should come out to be negative 0.054. And then we need to compute our 2 times k times q0, and so 2 times this times that, 22.1. These once again have q0 in them, so they're just going to be 0. And then here we have 2 times these, the product of those two, which is 7.17. And if I then add those up, I should get, just like I did up here, I need to compute my summation of the two terms in order to figure out my correction factor. I'm going to get 0.126 and then 29.27, and then my delta Q is going to be just dividing this by that, and negative 0.126 over 29.27 is a negative 0.0043. Okay, and so my updated Q then, this one's a positive, so it's this plus that, which is a negative, so it'll go down a little bit to 0.012. And then these are starting at 0, and so here it's adding, and it's in the positive direction, and it's a negative correction, so it becomes a 0.0043. This one is, the flow is going in the opposite direction, so then when we subtract a negative, it becomes positive. And then this one, when we it's also in the negative direction, so it's this minus a negative that, and so it's going to get bigger and be 0.0193. Okay, and so now we've got our updated values for loop 2. So now we then need to go here and look at loop 3 and make the correction factor there. So loop 3, so we have, once again, the pipe direction, our K value, our initial flow, our first term for our correction factor, and then the second one, and then our updated value. Okay. So for loop 3 here, we have pipe DE, and then EH, and then GH, and then DG. Okay, so DE, EH, GH, and DG. And if we look at the direction of the flow there, DE is going to be negative, EH is going to be a positive, GH is also a negative, and then DG is also a negative. So most of them are negative actually. Our K factors here from the last page, 678, 2393, 212, and 2393. And once again, this is maybe the trickiest thing, is to make sure we use the right value for Q0. And so for DE, DE has been, so this is already a part of loop 1. EH and GH are new, so we can use our initial guess. But DE and DG, we need to use our updated values from the last one. So DE from loop 1 up here is 0.0137. And then dg from the last one here is negative 0.0043. And then the other two, we can use our initial guess, which was 0.015 and then 0. And now we do our math, and I'll just go ahead and write these down. So negative 0.127, 0.054, 0, and negative 0.004, and then 18.6, 7.2, 0, and negative 2.05. And then we go and add these up. Our summation is negative 0.077, and then this term is 23.35 if I add all those up. And so my delta Q here is negative 0.077 divided by 23.35, which gives me a positive 0.0032, negative. And so then we have to remember to take into account our direction. So it's this minus